In this video, I'll be building mechs based on characters from SpongeBob Squarepants, and they'll be pitted against a robotic plankton who's trying to steal the Krabby Patty's secret formula.
Are ya ready, kids? Oh!
The first thing I'll do is put together a small mech based on a Krabby Patty. I'm using these tan dome corner elements. Every good hamburger needs lettuce and cheese, so I added angled and curved plates in bright green and yellow. Flipping it around, I placed Technic holes and modified 1x1 bricks to connect some limbs to. They're built from Mixo ball joints, but I'm using brackets to polish it off with tiles and slopes. Finally, a cockpit with joysticks for SpongeBob to pilot from, and now I'm done. Well, wait, SpongeBob is gonna need something to defend himself with, so I put together a pickle hammer for him to wield. Much better. I'll give this one 3 out of 5 stars. SpongeBob never goes anywhere without his best friend, Gary. Let's build a robot for him to pilot too. I put together a body that's loosely based on SpongeBob's character design. I added joysticks for him to use and arms from a Nexo Knight's torso. Finally, I placed some legs and Gary himself. The final product looks so goofy. I love it. 4 stars. We do need a way to display them though. I built a little portion of the sea floor and sprinkled in seaweed elements to mix things up, and this will do nicely. Let's add the 2 mechs we've built so far to the display. Going up against our heroes is Plankton, a talking plankton with a mind for machinery. For his mech, I used yellow slopes and red cylinders to recreate his iconic one eye and connected it to the body. Next, I built him an eyebrow using rounded black 1x2 plates and 1x1 studs, so I can curve and reshape it to my liking. I polished up the sides with sand green cheese slopes and placed them inside. Oh wait, before I do, let's take a moment to recognize how wacky this Lego piece is. It's so incredibly goofy, why would anyone be intimidated by this? To finish up the upper body, I grabbed some black horn elements and lightsaber hilts to build his little dangly things. Then I clipped them to the top. His mech is gonna need some limbs because we don't want him just rolling around, so I added a simple crotch build to connect some legs to. They're built in 3 different segments, and I'm connecting them all using ball joints. To fill in the gaps between the sections, I popped the rubber portion off some wheels and slid them on the ball joints. I was inspired by this mech design that's featured in Nickelodeon's Smash Bros. Ripoff. The mech has more of a cartoonish feel, but I do want to emulate that a bit, so I'm tiling off the legs in a very specific way so that they have this cartoonishly round feeling to them. For the feet, I started with bracket elements and then added slopes on every side. As for the arms, I started with shoulder segments built from cylinder pieces and Mixo ball joints. I'm using sand green fenders and slopes to shape the arms and attach the ball fists onto each arm. In the reference material I mentioned, the mech is equipped with 2 flamethrowers. I'll take a 3 long stud axle and slide red dome elements onto it. And for some extra detail, I'll fish black whips from the canisters to the base of the arms, and of course we need huge flames to spew out of it. Here's the final product, and I absolutely love how it turned out. It is heat, 4.5 stars. After adding Plankton to the display, it really feels like SpongeBob is outnumbered this time. We need to add some of his friends to the fray. Back in 2011, LEGO released several sets based on iconic SpongeBob locations. And this. The sets are long retired, but I have the supporting cast LEGO made minifigures for, so let's build them all mechs to help SpongeBob out. Let's start with SpongeBob's true best friend, Patrick Star. In the show, he builds a robot made entirely out of sand, meaning this will be a mini one-color challenge. I immediately failed though, because I realized LEGO does not make joint elements in tan. That's alright, I'll do my best regardless. I started with a lower torso to connect the legs to. I'm using these cool ingot tiles in tan to give it some fun shaping, and the feet are using slope pieces to keep it steady, but even after that it kept falling over, so I added these 2x2 modified tiles to both sides. To connect the upper body segment, I tiled off the crotch with jumper plates. Next, to get a better shape and hide the ball joints a bit better, I'll add these hinge elements with 3x3 angled plates. In the show, Patrick's mech has a little P symbol for Patrick, so I added that using a 1x1 tile and curved 1x1 tile in Nougat. I used these slope elements to create claw-like hands, and then I connected them to the body. He looks a little scrawny though, so I'll add some brackets to build out shoulder pads and put a little bead on his bones. Finally, we need a place for Patrick to pilot the mech. I placed 2 joystick elements and a face shield to keep the wind out of his eyes. And I'll place down Patrick and design a helmet built around him. This helmet kinda screams medieval war meets Voltron, which is really sick. I'm happy with how this one turned out, but the color palette doesn't really allow it to pop out as well. 3 stars. Let's add it to the display to help SpongeBob. If you've never watched the show, I don't know why you're here. Also, this guy is trying to steal a recipe from this money-hungry crab. Mr. Krabs employs SpongeBob and this handsome fella at the Krusty Krab, and I'll be building him a crab-themed mech. you know, with him being a crab and all. The first thing I did was design these shoulder builds using the armor pieces from LEGO's Knuckles Mech set. Despite my heavy complaining, the pieces it comes with continue to come in handy. Maybe I should shut up and eat my words. Anyway, I added a cockpit for Mr. Krabs and placed slopes to polish off the sides and the front. For the back, I built him a headrest and placed a windshield on the top of the mech. Oh, and I can't forget to give him the secret formula. The arms attempt to combine the vibe of crab claws and traditional mech fists. I have red slopes encompassing the Hero Factory fist piece. Next, I'll add an armor piece using droid arms, and that'll create some cool texturing. The result is sweet. It reminds me of the Rock'em Sock'em robots. You know, the toy that was out before any of us were born. Okay, well, LEGO came around before we were born, so I guess that doesn't mean much. For the lower half, I designed a crotch build with 6 Mixel ball joint points to connect the legs to. They are built in 2 segments. I added corner tiles to the larger one, and I'm really pleased with the vibe it added to the build. For the smaller segment, I'll add 2x2 round plates via brackets for some extra texturing, and I repeated the process 5 more times and then connected all 6 to the body. I think this is my favorite of the mechs I built today. It really looks like it would pack a wallop, and it will for sure help SpongeBob and the gang take down Plankton. It gives an emphatic 5 stars from me. Let's add it to the display. There's been several versions of a robotic SpongeBob built by Plankton. LEGO even recreated one of them. Reminds me of another fictional character. Well, I'm gonna build my own. His body is built from yellow bricks with white and dark tan plates to recreate SpongeBob's pants. I gave him cooking utensils for arms, and then the legs use 1x2 rounded plates, and also candle elements. He has 2 light bulbs for eyes. I'll add a pointy nose and a mouth before topping off the build with a dome to house SpongeBob's brain. You can see it floating around in there, so I added a pink stud to get that across. And I'll place him hiding behind Plankton's mech. He's cool in his own right, but I don't think he would contribute much to this fight, so 2 stars. The next character I need to build a mech for is Sandy Cheeks. I knew when I started building, I really wanted to include these transparent LEGO elements. They came in a Jurassic World set, and they're almost too unique to use. After some tinkering though, I realized I could slide a wrench into these holes at the base, and then I clicked the wrenches to bar plates, and now we have a sorta legal connection point. I just can't knock it over. I built around the dome to try to hold it in place. For the body, I'm using brickhead bricks to attach various slopes to create a cylinder shape, and I'll add grilled tiles and a chest insignia to mix things up. I connected shoulder segments, and on one arm, I'm giving her an acorn gun so she can shoot nuts at people. The other uses another metallic fist element. And then for an extra detail, I'll take this yellow tube and fish it from the acorn gun to the back of the build. To finish up this mech, I'll place a crotch build with Mixel ball joints. To get a funky leg shape, I'll use these hinge elements. I'll add brackets to polish it up and slopes to give the feet more surface area. This one looks super fun. It reminds me of something that would be in a Jimmy Neutron episode. I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. We're actually getting cramped for space, so I'll just place it off to the side of the display. The final character in the roster is Squidward. This is the handsome fella from earlier that works for Mr. Krabs alongside SpongeBob. As his name implies, he's a squid, so I'll build a squid-themed mech. Starting off with some tentacles for his legs, they're built from taking Mixel ball joints and then surrounding them with brackets and 1x2 sand green tiles. On the bottom of each tentacle, I'm adding lavender 1x2 plates to represent the suction cup things, and just like with Plankton's mech, I'll use rubber wheels to fill in the gaps left by the ball joints. I built 4 of these and connected them to the base and used sand green mud guards and slopes to polish it off. Everyone knows handsome Squidward, he's a meme legend, so for this mech I wanted to take some inspiration from him. So I'll give him a onesie rather than a simple t-shirt and also a belt. I'll try to give him more muscle mass too. To get that across, I'll use slopes and curved tiles, and I'll top off the shoulders with these yellow armor elements. Oh, and I'll pop Squidward inside to pilot it. The arms are built similarly to the legs, but I added an extra segment that's designed to be much beefier. Honestly, this looks hilarious. For the tentacles, I've tried really hard to balance the fluidity of an actual squid and the robotic fake feeling that a mech usually has. I am so happy with the absurdity of the final product. 5 out of 5 stars. We're really ending this video on a high note. And we really don't have any space to put more mechs on the base. I'm taking that to mean SpongeBob and friends can triumph over Plankton. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and comment what other cartoons I should build next for. Keep on inspiring. Bye.